the the plugin works, and you can authenticate and you can retrieve data. And the question was, can you set up the bubble workflows so that recursively retrieves all the data? So bubble recursive workflows are a bit tricky. My suggestion is if you don't fully understand how recursive workflows work, and you're not sort of familiar enough to sort of understand and debug them yourself, I think you should get some expert help on that. And there's plenty of people who can help you with that. Because the risk is that depending on the data, and depending on, perhaps there's a flaw in the design of your recursive workflows, and you can chew through a huge amount of workflow units. So you'll hear scare stories about people in Bubble who have, through sort of poorly implemented recursive workflows, have chewed through hundreds of thousands of workflow units. So long story short, I'm just saying, if you don't fully understand Bubble and you don't fully understand recursive workflows, get some expert help. And these are the recursive workflows in these backend workflows. And by recurse, I mean, see this get all receipts. At the end of it, it goes and gets all receipts. So a recursive workflow becomes a runaway workflow when there's nothing that stops it. So it just endlessly, without stopping, continues to do work and continues to chew up workflow units. And it took me a bit of trial and error to get this working. I think it's working now, but my advice would be to get some expert help on this if you don't fully understand, if you can't read this and understand this. So what the plugin can do is it can use the features of the Etsy API, which tells you the count of the results, and you can search by criteria, by dates, and by paid, delivered, cancelled. So we're logged in, and if I say give me all the receipts since Thursday, let's just do a few since Friday. So now that is invoked a recursive workflow. You'll see this number here change shortly. 5, 16, 19. So it's retrieving. It looks like it's stopped. It looks like it's retrieved just 19. So there's only been 19 receipts since the 26th, and today's the 28th. So you could, on top of that, so now it just depends. You just have to think about how you want your application to work. Do you want to do a one-off retrieval of all the receipts, historic receipts, and then only grab the recent ones beyond a certain date? You could do that. I'm not sure what you want to do. That would be one way to do it. This cleanup data is just for me while I was testing. And then you've got to also probably have a think about balancing the number you retrieve at a time. So at the moment I'm retrieving 100 at a time. If you look here, so I'm retrieving 100 at a time. With this, maybe by reducing that number to 50, you can balance the workload a bit better, because inserting 100 at a time might take longer than retrieving 100 at a time. So you basically want to consume them as fast as you produce them. I think 100 might be too big a number, because I think you're retrieving receipts faster than Bubble can save them. And here's a recursive workflow here for Bubble to save the receipts. And here's a bit of debug, so you can just check it's working. The recursive loop is working, and here are the receipts in the database. I've only retrieved a few fields. Again, depending on how your design of your application, you might want to retrieve these fields or more fields or fewer or different fields. I think you need to balance the complexity of retrieving all the fields and storing all the fields versus storing just the fields you need for searching, and then using in the plugin there's a method to get receipt by ID, get shop receipt. So given a receipt ID, just get all the details for it, because you want to basically balance the workflow units of retrieving 9,000 Etsy orders against the workflow units of just retrieving the receipt IDs and the details you need to search on, and then grabbing the extra details you need. And depending on your app and your use case, it might be different reasons. You might want to retrieve all the data in one go, or you might want to just retrieve a few of the keys and a few of the bits criteria you want to search on, and then grab the when you need the full receipt details, go and get the full receipt details. So yeah, there you go. That's it, working in your app. I would get really comfortable with these recursive workflows, or get someone who is really comfortable with it, and test very carefully that these don't run away. I don't want to spend, there's other designs you could use to implement this. This is the design I would use. You might meet someone who would choose a different design, and that's completely fine. But I think there you go.